right? That's the saddest thing that I've seen, is that the world is not invested in helping people achieve success in business. The world will tell you, become an employee, study this, right? That the world always does that. But when it comes to wealth creation, in a way, it's up to you, it's up to us, right? Because this is a journey you decided to go on by yourself. And so that's one of the reasons people say it's a lonely journey. but trust me, don't make it lonely, because there are other people. That's why I always talk about the power of community. Yesterday, my guest on my show, we talked about the power of business community, belonging to a business community. Is that you want to find communities that are intentional, focused, like no nonsense. Like, no, because trust me, the seriousness with which you pursue your goals will determine what you attain. So don't let anybody bring your energy down. You're going to need energy, serious energy, for that quest, for that journey. Serious energy. And so when people put their time, energy in rooms and spaces that is stealing energy, stealing time, I'm like, wow, why would we do that? Right? So it's this: run your race, run it fast, and make sure you also, if you want to run a marathon and you want to practice, it's probably easier to practice with other people that are trying to run the same marathon. But if you go to a community that they are not about to run a marathon, they will discourage you, because they're not going where you're going. So they're not applying the force that you need to apply. Right? This is one of the rules, right? Is that the day you want to show up to the world of business, right? And I've seen this. Those who are 10 years into this thing, their energy is different, right? They've abandoned a lot. They are fierce, and they are achieving results because this is their livelihood. They've made up their mind. But people 0 to 5, I still sense this. There's still a lot, especially maybe year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. There's still, should I not, should I not, until you cross over into this is it. And you start unlocking this level of seriousness and clarity in terms of, this is what I'm building, this is why I'm building it. And you have employed this kind of no nonsense approach to, because this is it's your life, it's your livelihood, it's your life. You're investing your time, energy, and resources to this thing. But oftentimes, when I engage and I encounter people, I know if they are there or not. Simply by the energy they bring to the conversation, I know if people are there or not. I'm gifted. How are you? It's been a minute. Are you I also see Jeff. Welcome, everyone. Because I have other platforms running as well. Let's see. How do you invite? No request. Okay, good. Awesome. So does anybody have any question? If not, I'll probably just keep this short, but it's your space if you have any questions, because at the end of the day, I always tell people too, what you put to it will determine what you get out of it. Even in spaces like this, right? When people ask questions, if you go to Google, if you ask questions, you will get answers. If you don't ask questions, you get what you get. Like I always tell people, like my rooms are more interesting and useful and beneficial to people who have questions. When people have questions and they ask questions, they will get so much more from the conversation. So if nobody has any questions, I'll go ahead and close out. But keep showing up for yourself, keep showing up for your future, keep investing, don't give up, but also realize that it takes so much more than IQ, right? It takes so much more than just consuming content. Because if it's all content, if it's just information, everybody right now should be winning. But what I've broken out, my quantum leap to success process. Listen, what we cover in my school, we talk about mindset, our mindset, how we think, we have to shift. So there are programs there. We talk about skill sets. Yes, we have to continue to improve. I talk about spiritual psychology using biblical principles, right? Wealth creation principles based on the Bible. We cover that. I talk about soul alignment. The reason is because the idea belongs to the inner you, right? And that inner you must be fortified, strengthened to do the assignment, right? And self-actualization really is a quest for your soul to be all it's here to be, to do all it's here to do, to show up fully empowered to deliver the message it's here to deliver, right? To serve the people you are here to serve. And what has happened, which is why you have to do this work, is that many people haven't developed that version of themselves. So when you feel like you don't have courage, when you feel like you don't have voice, when you feel like any form of limitation in a way, what is feeling limited is your soul. Because your full stature is right. You are physically mature. You can be 50, 60, it doesn't matter. But the soul, if the soul is still feeling limited, is lacking confidence, doesn't have a voice, it is still immature at the soul level. The self, the real self, if it is not matured, because maturity of the soul is not determined by age, physical age, right? Physical age, the day you were born, you eat good food, you mature, right? But there's another food that the soul is looking for. Belief, right? Belief. That's what the soul needs. All things are possible to them that believe. Until your soul believes that the ideas and gifts God has given it belongs to it, and it's ready to pursue and invest time in it, it is still searching. So you can learn all the marketing techniques you want, but when it is time to show up, host a room, host an event, speak, right, in front of people, sell, persuade, anything in you that is saying I cannot, is because you've not matured your voice. Is that even though people are fully mature physically, age-wise, they haven't done the inner work to mature their real self. And that real self, trust me, when God says I look men look on the outward, but I look on the heart, is that there's another scripture that says that according to the power of God that works in you, there's an inner side of you that when you unleash it, the greatest side of you will come out. When you say yes, when you mean to say no, or when you say no, when you mean to say yes, is because the voice of you, right, is being replaced by the voice of the identity people have taken on, who you've chosen to be, to satisfy the needs of your community or the world, to survive. There's a survivor voice that people must replace with a new voice, right? Whenever I hear people, there's a sound, there's a way people talk. Oh, Toyin, is the government. Oh, Toyin. I'm like, this is survivor voice 101. My employer is this. My employer is that. They didn't give me this. They didn't give me. You can hear that voice is so disempowered, right? That voice is so disempowered. That voice is so, it feels so limited. I cannot do this because of that. And I'm going, go get clear what happened. Who programmed? Because many people culturally are programmed not to be great. Many people are programmed to be limited in their approach to life. Part of the programming is the traditional education system. That 20 years programming didn't program you to go out there and be a multi-billionaire. That programming, you have to reprogram yourself, right? You now have to reprogram yourself. Bible talks about this book of the law shall not depart of your. Yes, there is a reprogramming, because the world could program you towards limitation. There was someone that came in, was it last week? And pure from what I shared, after she shared her story, I said, God, you've been exposed to bad theology. Bad theology can program people not to believe. Right? Simply, the church you decided to go to or belong to whether by your own selection or not, will also influence all of these things I'm saying. If the person, your clergy, your leader, your spiritual leader, is somebody that doubts, danger. Let me not go too much into that. So exposure, the mind, the belief system, the soul alignment, the soul needs belief for it to influence action. Without belief, right? All things are possible to them that believe, and things will be impossible to those who do not believe. That's it. Every time you don't believe, because I tell you, IQ, I wrote this thing earlier this morning as well. IQ, let me find that article, and I talked about, okay, not this one, the limitations of IQ, right? Many times I tell you, like, don't rely on IQ on this matter, on this journey, because the IQ, okay, I said logic, smart people. Oh, let me start here. I said achieving success goes beyond IQ. In fact, I just dropped the pen. Where's my, no, I dropped my stylus. Achieving success goes beyond IQ. In fact, I found that the smartest people often become the least successful because they are simply missing the other recipe for success. Smart people have been programmed to depend on their own intelligence. And I listed things out. I said logic will only take you so far. Logic is a construct of your own programming. Logic is a function of your current level of exposure, skills, and knowledge. So logical people are 100% certain about what they know. Right? You feel like confidence is built around what you know. And logical people will be like, listen, I know this, I know this, I know this, I know this, I know this. I'm like, good for you. But have you ever spent time to say what you don't know? What are the things you don't know? So logic brings a limitation to the realm of possibility, because faith, risk-taking, they are all not logical. Logic will tell you, stay with your job. Don't leave where you are. There's no risk there. Stay there, right? Logic often creates limitation. What it makes sense for you to do, right, may stop you from doing and pursuing what doesn't make sense, that your soul says this is the assignment we have. Oftentimes, the assignment you have doesn't make sense. And so anybody that believes too much in logic and IQ, I put it here, I say logic sometimes kills dreams. Logic will tell you why you shouldn't do what God is telling you to do. It will tell you, you don't have this. Who is going to help you? Who is going to do that? Logic will attack. If you don't get clear, logic will throw an assault. Right? It will put your dreams under at least, and this is what creates anxiety, by the way. You know you should do this, but all the thinking that is currently within your capacity will tell you otherwise, opposing view. So if your mind is here and your heart is there, divided, Bible says, can anybody get anything? A divided mind, can he receive anything from God? Your mind is telling you it's impossible. Your heart is saying, let's go. Your mind is like going left. You want to go right. That is opposition. Internal. People are divided within themselves. So energy of your mind is here. Energy of your soul is here. Those are the inner work, guys. That's the inner work. It's not, marketing this. Listen, we will get to marketing. Once you empower yourself, once you empower your soul, once you empower your real self, you grow muscles, you grow confidence, you grow belief, you walk through all of those limitations, then you can give that empowered self tools for success. Right? When the child matures, then you can give it a car. Don't give the car. If you give a car to 5-year-old, their leg cannot even press anything. They can't function in capacity. And this is what's happening with dreams and purpose right now, is that the purpose is waiting for you to grow into it. The purpose, the greatness is waiting you to mature so that you can sit in your position. I am gifted says very true. It says logic, let me read this. It says logic will normally choose the least risky option. Yes, and I've thought about this before. Those who are new to my world, right? I talk about the 5 human senses, which is connected to logic, right? It's connected to your brain, straight up, straight up. The physical, the way we experience the physical world is that the 5 senses always seeks pleasure, right? Taste, smell, sight, sound, sight, right? This, guys, on this journey of entrepreneurship, self-mastery is important. You're going to learn disciplines of psychology, your own psychology, human behavioral science, right? Mindset, skill set. Because when I talk about quantum leap, acceleration, listen, in a year's time, you will not recognize yourself. You become a different version because you're going to walk in, out, not outside, in. You're going to disrupt inside. So these things are sciences every entrepreneur needs. Like, my students know this. Listen, these are the things we do in my school. We go deep so that we can go far and high. Right? So the 5 senses is tied to logic. What you can see, if you are living life based on your 5 senses, what you can see, what you can smell, what you are seeing physically. But I'm telling you, success is a spiritual construct. You have to quiet yourself to trust your own voice. If you are busy reading the newspaper and everything you are reading out there is influencing the state of your being, you are not going to do what you want to do. You know, Bible talks about sowing and reaping. As long as you are waiting for the perfect weather, you will not sow. You will not sow. But if your soul says, today, this, sign up now, logic will tell you. Logic is what procrastinates, you know. Not today, tomorrow, because logic is lazy. When you are trying to solve maths equation, you want to take the easy route. You don't want to solve it unless you impose your will. This is where the will, your will, W-I-L-L, must override your mindset. Your own will, your own desire, right, must put your mind to work, because the mind wants to be lazy. It doesn't want to do anything. This is why we talk about personal discipline. You will discipline that mind. Because if you let your mind rule you, if you let your mind take you, that mind will leave you on a couch when you're supposed to be losing weight. That mind will procrastinate when you're supposed to be doing work today. That mind will tell you, oh, it's cold out there, right? The mind will tell you it's cold out there. When they tell you show up and go and sell, the mind will come up with an excuse why not to do the work. Yes, the natural state of the human mind is just to be pleasured. That's why we spend money to acquire pleasure. Nice perfumes, nice movies. Nobody has to beg you to eat good food. Nobody has to compel you to show up to like, when it comes to pleasure, nobody has to, like, I don't have to have this conversation to motivate you. When you smell the food, your body will naturally, when somebody just promotes a nice looking handbag and shoe, before you know it, you will swipe your card. Where we have to keep talking and talking is when it comes to internal growth. Internal growth. You have to convince people that value is more, that's where they need to be putting their time, energy, cultivating the inner self, growing, maturing ourselves, because that's where wealth is. That is when we have to talk for hours. But if I tell you now, and I show you a picture of leather luxury handbag, listen, I don't have to convince you. I don't have to. Right? Logic needs no, like, once logic can see, sense, interpretation is immediate, because we've all been groomed and we love to pleasure ourselves. And nothing wrong with that. What we have to now watch out for is that success, creativity, business, wealth creation, listen, is not pleasure. It's not. Like, please, as a business educator, we have to understand. Because the many things you have to do on the journey of achieving success, a farmer has to take a seed. Instead of pleasuring themselves and eat it, the farmer has to have faith. and delayed gratification enough to say, I believe in this seed. Instead of eating it and pleasuring myself today, there's something else I believe. Let me plant it, water it, labor for it, because I believe the harvest of the future will be greater than the pain of the current. It's a different mindset. That's not logical. That defies logic. Harvest, the principle of sowing and reaping, is not logical. It's spiritual. So many things you will do on your journey of entrepreneurship will not be logical. It will be spiritual. It will be a spiritual decision. Leave your job, spiritual. It doesn't make sense. Invest this money. It doesn't make, because logic wants pleasure, not pain. Logic wants to be left alone, not disciplined. Right? Logic doesn't want to cook the food. It wants to eat the food. That's why I talk about people with entitlement. Right? Me. That's logic. Logic only thinks about what it wants. Me. Impute. I want. Listen. But logic doesn't think about other people. But in business, you have to serve other people. You have to actually take your own time, energy, and resources and put it to use, other people's use. You have to invest in other people. Right? Is this logical that I'm hosting this room? No, I should be having fun. Right? So, but discipline, the art of discipline is you are going to do what your heart is telling you to do. Sometimes your mind will be telling you not to do it. Your ability to discipline yourself and know the difference. Which voice would you listen to? The one that tells you to procrastinate or the one that tells you to invest today? Which one? Which one would you believe? This is the journey, guys. This is the journey. And I tell people, the social media world is programming everybody all over again. 4 hours on social media because of pleasure. It's very beautiful. Listen. We love to scroll. It feels good. The question is, that 4 hours, could it have been put into something else? A discipline, a task that is not pleasurable, but is required, right, for progress. So oftentimes we will realize that the tasks for progress is abandoned. The tasks for pleasure, these are the things we are now doing every day. Listen, it's a new month, November 1. Many people entered this year with this, like everybody's given 24 hours the same year. But trust me, people who practice this thing I'm talking about, they've achieved more results by November 1 than people who spend 3 hours, 4 hours every single day for most of the days in this year. Pleasure. What feels good? What naturally feels good? This feels good. This feels good, right? But what feels good, right, is procrastination. Procrastination feels good. Moving current assignment to tomorrow that never comes. Listen, the moment you procrastinate, you have do you know you'll be relieved? Do you know you feel good when you procrastinate? There's a reward tied to procrastination. There's a reward tied to procrastination. Please hear me well. When pressure comes, because life will pressure you to perform. Life will pressure, right? Will tell you, this is a task. A task is a pressure to perform. Your to-do list is a pressure point. You have work to do. You have to show up. You have to finish these 5 things. You have to put yourself to work. It creates pressure. Work creates internal pressure. When you don't want to be pressured to do the assignment, in order to release that pressure, you procrastinate. All you have to do is just move it out. All of a sudden, you feel better. Oh, now I don't have to go. And you go on your couch and you relax. So yes, procrastination, there's a reward system tied to procrastination. You can relax. You can relax. Right? But trust me, when that assignment comes, when you still have to do the work, the pressure comes again. So pressure is not running away. When it's time to get on the treadmill, you still have to get on the treadmill. And when you're not ready, you procrastinate and then the pressure goes away. So your relationship with pressure, pain, discomfort is important to success. The caterpillar has to go through incredible amount of pain, pressure, shifts, adjustment, change before it can become a butterfly. And so anybody that is avoiding such pressure, in a way, they will miss the results that pressure is there to deliver. Right? There are certain types of pressure that they are sent to give you more strength. They are sent to you to elevate you, to help you grow muscles. You see, anybody that wants to be stronger on this journey of success, the way you get stronger is to embrace the pressure of doing the work, of running, right? You run more race, you become stronger, right? You discipline yourself, you become stronger. But as long as people keep procrastinating, telling all the stories, guess what? They become less powerful, right? It's like you're losing your power little by little, little by little, little by little, little by little, by not muscling up and withstanding that pressure point. But trust me, the human mind avoids everything. It avoids, but we want the results. It's like cooking. Just imagine cooking. Let's just pick cooking. Cooking is simple, right? But do you know there's pressure involved in cooking? Oh my gosh. Okay, those who want to call Icony, please come up to the stage. Let me not be the only one speaking. If you want this conversation to get more dynamic, come up to the stage, share your thoughts, right? Your experiences. Let other people learn as well. So let's just take cooking. If you're a mom, or even just cooking for yourself, do you know it's easier to just go to a restaurant, not cook, not be pressured, and just pay somebody and sit down and eat? That's what we all want. Listen, isn't that what we all want? Isn't that why we are all spending so much money on fast food? We don't want to cook. But you have to. You have to cook. You have to subject yourself to the pressure of cooking for you to cook and eat the food. Life is that way. Life is that way, but trust me, success is not something you can order on a menu. Last year during Black Friday, I said, listen, welcome to Black Friday, when everything is on sale except success. Success is never on sale. It's never on sale. I wish you could pay and just, in fact, even in my school, this is what I challenge my students with, right? And I design my school in such a way that skill development is a requirement. Because we can transfer knowledge, we cannot transfer skill. And for you to get results, I know you need skills. No matter what I share, no matter what I teach you, no matter what I guide you, you actually have to give time. And skill only develops over time through repetition and practice. So because of that fundamental understanding, my school has activities, tasks, workbooks, assignments, questions, questionnaire, because we have to think our way to solving the puzzles of life. Nobody can give you $1 million business unless maybe you inherited it. But oftentimes, even when it is passed down to the wrong mindset, the mindset that did not create $1 million will soon lose it. Will soon lose it, right? So we've heard that stories. Oh, lottery winner, here's $1 million. Before you know it, blink, 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 it's gone. Because there's a certain mindset, say the relationship of, right, attracting money, managing money, investing money. We have to add. So everything I'm saying, this is what, like how I teach 360 mindset, skill set, business skill set, sales, marketing, branding, right? Pricing, business model design, spiritual psychology, faith-based, Christian-based, soul alignment, personal discipline, character, behavior, emotional intelligence, energy management. Every single thing. This is the program I talk about, Quantum Leap to Success. When my students go through this, listen, a year after, radical transformation, radical results. While people are still like, oh, let's go and dance on reels, let's go and do all these basic things. I say you can change externally. If you don't transform, you're still just, it's like you're still in the same zip code. When I say zip code, I'm saying mental space of thinking. Because the same mindset, right, that created a certain reality will keep recreating it over and over. It's the same. That's why many people will set out and say, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Yes, they will go 1 year, 2 years. 2 years later, you suddenly realize that really not much has changed. Because you haven't changed. Not much has changed because you haven't changed. So people who don't want to change, reality doesn't change. Because change is required for us to quantum leap to success. Right? So we actually have to admit, we have to arrive at a conclusion that I need to change. That's the only way this thing works. Because every time I say, listen, whenever you find yourself struggling, ask these questions. What don't I know that I need to know? What can I not do that I need to learn how to do? That is awareness right there. If you can write it down in any area where you are struggling, just ask, what knowledge don't I have that I need? Because reality is that our mind only functions by what you've programmed. What you can only function, right? Knowledge is the, how do I say this? Let me just say it's the gas in your car. If you don't have knowledge, the car doesn't move. Right? If you don't acquire knowledge, the car will just say, sorry, I'm fully functional. Like, this is what one of the things I say, software versus hardware. I've studied this wealth creation principles across globally, right? All humans are fully equipped. Fully equipped. However, right, God equipped all of us, right? But what you program yourself with is your own decision. That's why God will, right? Jesus, two things. God said it to Joshua. Jesus also said it in New Testament. Renew your mind. Okay? It's your own, it's your responsibility to renew your mind, to guard your heart and renew your mind. Right? And God also told Joshua, listen, this book of the law, if you want this level of success, you will read this. This is the instruction manual. But here's the thing, that assignment is on you. It's 100% on you. No matter how God loves us, he's not reading the book for us because he's all knowing. He doesn't need to read books, but we need to read. But he also says, according to the power that works in us, God, in a way, will limit the flow of heaven simply because we are not studying how heaven flows. Simply lack of knowledge. Bible talks about lack of knowledge. So one of the things I have seen, any community that discounts knowledge, that minimizes knowledge, that doesn't value knowledge. Listen, look around. Just look around. The limitation will show up in their reality. Because when you go to places that have skyscrapers, knowledge builds skyscrapers. Knowledge builds that. The knowledge men can put to use to build a skyscraper is what builds that city. And so when you look around you and you're not seeing the level of knowledge that people have deployed in that region is what you will see in reality. That's it, guys. I've studied like regions of the world. I've studied wealth creation principles. What makes one city beautiful, powerful, moving forward, productive, wealthy. And you move to another place and you realize that the collective knowledge of the people in that zip code creates reality. We happen to life. When you are not, when you feel, until there's a level of discomfort that people activate within themselves, discomfort with their own reality, nothing will change. If you're comfortable and you're happy with everything, then settle down, park your car, enjoy the view. Enjoy the view. But what I've seen in life is that many people, the people who are uncomfortable with status quo, they're the one moving the world forward. Right? Cars can drive on fossil fuels, right? Elon Musk says, that's not enough for us. I want electric cars. Right? And he decided not just to talk about it, he decided to do something about it. And because of that simple audacity, today, other companies are following. Oh, we too can make electric cars. Didn't you know you could make it before? Why did you have to wait for Elon Musk to disrupt your industry? That's what happens. That's what happens, is that until you're uncomfortable with, and this is what I also try to encourage people: community engagement. Engage in your community. Do things in your community, because your community will not change if people don't change it. If you don't like anything in your community, start engaging, start pulling people together. Start calling people. Can we do this? Because this is how communities advance. Community doesn't just get wealthy, influential, successful. Listen, every community is a product of the minds, the hearts and minds, and the spirits and the energy of the people who live in that community. When you put humans together, what we create together is based on what we believe and how we think, and the actions and the behavior. So that's why sometimes people will just vacate some zip code. I don't blame them. Because if you are trying to move forward and your community is not, you better just leave. It's tough. It's tough to be dragging people who are satisfied, right? So yeah, so people also move. You know, you move into places where everybody thinks like you think. They want what you want. They believe what you believe. And so you can do life with them. I've thought about this on the power of culture, how culture is built, community, how people engage, how people think. Because these things are important for you to know as an entrepreneur, right? If you're a business owner, realize that in a way, you're trying to disrupt your clients and customers' belief system. In a way, depending again on what you're selling, you are trying to get people to think differently, you know, feel differently, and behave differently. Influence requires us. Leadership and influence, right, is a way of mobilizing people to think like you. If you hang out enough around me, if you join my school, right, naturally the leader will replicate their way of thinking, believing, and action. It's just, that's why they tell you the 5 people you surround yourself with, you are their average. This thing is true. You may not like it. That's why, but it is true though. It's true. Is that you hang out in the same church for 20 years, you will reflect the belief system of everybody you are hanging around. That's why you have to be careful. You put your kids to a school, very soon, all the teacher will teach your children. Very soon, your children will adopt the teachers, right? So these things are true. So even you as an entrepreneur, this is why we have to take responsibility. If we don't work on ourselves in a way, we pass these things down, right? So there's a personal responsibility we also have to take in saying that the people that we're teaching, that we're guiding, right, at the end of the day, and even the people you are following. So this is also part of self-awareness. I say it in my book. When you say people should follow you to where? Follow you to do what? Follow you to become what? We may not like this, but trust me, it functions this way. When people engage in my school, in my classes, you become fully empowered. You become unstoppable, right? In pursuit of whatever you want, right? The clarity and courage, the audacity to speak your truth, to become who God wants you to become. Courage, knowledge, strategy, skills that will support you in your own dreams. That is it. And so when I say my students, right, become me, you know, I don't mean do what I'm doing, But no, you'll be empowered to do whatever you want to do, because I'm empowered. I've empowered myself. Right? I've empowered myself, and I continue to challenge and say, okay, what do we need to do to empower ourselves? We need to empower ourselves. Let me land it there. We need to empower ourselves with the knowledge, capacity, skills to pursue all that we want to pursue. So that's what we do at my school. Skills, knowledge, capacity, discipline, mindset. The 360. That's how we quantum leap. That's how we achieve radical results. We don't do it like other people do it. So we're going after big. If you want to do big things, you want to do big things, then don't wait 20 years. We can do it better, because one of the things I say is why you will notice that at a certain age, people start speaking differently when they don't care anymore. Like, there's a certain age, people just say, take me as I am. But the question is, why do we have to wait to that age to gain the courage to speak truth? Why? Why do you have to get close to the end, the final mile? Because this is a skill other communities have given their 2-year-old. Do you want ice cream? No. Why don't you want ice cream? I don't just want it. They've practiced it at 2 years old. Why do you have to wait till 60 to get it? Because that skill, if you learned it at 2, at 5, is to say, I want this, I don't want this. Yes, my yes is my yes, my no is my no. Don't question my decisions, right? Why do we have to wait till 60 before we give ourselves that voice, that audacity? We could have put it to use to create better results. And so that's one of the things we say, quantum leap. Don't wait. You can actually give yourself these gifts now. And now needs it more. You need it more today. Right? We needed it at 5 years. We needed it at 10. We needed it at 15. But I'm also saying, don't take another day before you give yourself this audacity to express your thoughts, your feelings, your intentions. Because the world of business actually needs that. Leadership needs that. We don't follow people who don't know who they are. We don't follow people who cannot articulate the vision for the future. You don't vote for presidents and mayors and governors that cannot tell you what they are thinking. So nobody buys from people who do not have clarity. The world doesn't buy if you don't have clarity, if you don't have audacity, if you cannot lead them. People are not interested in that, because we pay people who can lead us to a better future than the ones we are experiencing right now. So it's a skill for business as well. Thank you, everyone. Let me wrap this up. Ms. Connie, thank you for joining. There's no replay on Clubhouse. It's just, I just decided to just release that. Hopefully somebody will benefit from that and put it to use. God bless you. Bye. Oh, is there any question? I was about to close out. Was there any question on Instagram? I see more people just joined. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Have a great day. God bless you. Check out ToyinUmesiri.com for resources.